Did you know that it's really common for teens to think that their parents' divorce is somehow their fault? Just try to remember that parents' decisions to split up are to do with issues between them and not because of something that you might have done or you may not have done. Some kids feel guilty about what happened, or they wish they had prevented arguments by cooperating more within the family, doing better with their behavior, or possibly getting better grades. But separation and divorce are a result of a couple's problems with each other, not their kids. The decisions adults make about the divorce are their own. Hi, I'm Jeff Yalden, your teen life coach. I hope you enjoy this video on how teenagers deal with their parents' divorce and how parents can make it a little bit easier for their kids. You know, half of the marriages today in the United States end in divorce. So plenty of kids and teenagers have to deal with this. However, when it happens to you, you feel very alone. You feel unsure of what this all means. Hey, young people, I want you to understand something about divorce. For parents today, maybe divorce is as simple as the love they had for each other at one time has changed. They're no longer in love with each other. It can be something as serious as a gambling, a drug addiction, or an alcohol addiction. Or it could just be simply that the parents just have grown apart and they decided to separate. But young people, the one thing I want you to understand where I come in is many young people feel that their parents' divorce is something they have done. It's about them. They're divorcing because something I did or something I could have done. Young people, I want you to think that your parents' divorce has nothing to do with you. You don't take sides. You don't get angry. Hey man, you know, the reality is parents divorcing, sometimes you don't even know the real reason. I know you feel a wide range of emotions, and they change frequently, maybe from hour to hour. I know that you feel stressed out, angry, frustrated. You got a lot of questions you want answered. Maybe there aren't answers. I hope that you have protection for both parents. And parents, I hope if you're watching this video, you need to understand that you need to put the situation in its place, compartmentalize it so that you can deal effectively with the kids and let them know it's not their fault. Hey, just because you're divorcing, it doesn't mean that the kids need to suffer as a result of the choice you're making. You still need to be responsible and you still need to be accountable. You still need to have boundaries. You still need to have rules and you still need to effectively discipline kids together. Not letting them feel that one parent is more involved than the other or one parent makes all the rules. However, I think the way the parents handle and respond to the situation can make it very easy on the children. Parents, I don't think it's right that you stay married just for the benefit of the children. The end result is your kid's going to grow up having seen their parents hate each other. The bottom line is the divorce is happening. How are you going to respond? And I think that sends a clear message to how the kids look back at this and how they respond appropriately during their teenage years. How will divorce change my life? Well, the reality is it probably is going to change your life. Depending on what happens in your family, you might have to make some adjustments to some of the changes. And the changes could include moving, changing schools, spending time with one parent versus the other parent, a different holiday with one parent, the following holiday with another parent, perhaps dealing with parents' unpleasant feelings and thoughts towards another parent. It changes your life quite a bit, and you've got to be prepared to deal with that. Parents are probably going to have to go to court over custody. What does this mean? It means in the beginning that you're going to have to be very flexible. You'll be spending one time with one parent and then another time, perhaps weekends, with another parent. Or maybe it's going to be 50-50, where you spend half the week with one parent, half the week with another parent. Family's finances. One parent may not have been working and been supported by the other parent. So now that divorce is happening, both parents go their own way. The parent that wasn't working oftentimes might have to get a job because the child support or alimony is not covering the expenses of whether you're renting or living in another house. You have to remember the effects of how this has on the children. Again, children, you need to be flexible. Okay, so here's my advice for parents on how they can make this easier for the children. My first point is simply keep the peace. Hey teens, this is where you need to come in. And if you see your parents fighting and arguing, they're making visitation difficult, you see them trying to control the situation, or one parent bad talking another parent, parents, again, remember how your words or actions or just your kids seeing what you're doing, how it affects them. But teenagers, maybe one of the things that you can do is you can sit down with your parents and say, listen, I know you have feelings. I know this is stressful for you, but please try and work hard to come together and be civil so that's a little bit easier on us. Number one point I'm making, parents, you got to keep the peace. The second point that I want to make is, parents, you need to be fair. One of the things that parents do is they put the pressure on their kids, and the kids feel that your happiness is resting on my shoulders. For example, as a parent, if you see your kids are talking to one parent more than they are the other parent, you might feel that they're being disloyal to you. Listen, parents, this divorce, as much as it is about you, it's not about you. Be fair. It's their mom, it's their dad. Be fair and give your kids the opportunity to trust, respect, and love their other one. Hey man, the third point I want to make is simply keep in touch. It's that simple. You're the children, you're living with one parent, and they might be far away, they might be close together. But simply, if you're with one parent and you're there for a couple days, you can send a quick text, you can send a Facebook message, you can send an email, or hey, just pick up the phone, call mom or dad and say, hey, I'm thinking of you. We're having a great time, but I miss you. Hey, the next point I want to make is simply, work it out. Your kids are involved in school, they're involved in extracurricular activities or sports. During the divorce, it is more important for a kid to feel your love and support so that they know that the love and support is still there while you're dealing with the divorce with each other. When it comes to games or recitals, sporting events, or outside activities, one parent might feel a little awkward in going to an event knowing the other parent might be there. Man, this ain't about you. At one point, you loved each other. At one point, you enjoyed spending time with each other. Just because you're going through a divorce, it doesn't need to change the fact that the two of you are still raising the kids that you brought into the world. Hey, man, one of the other things I want to say to you is, no matter what is going on, you have to live your life. This is your life, and you need to stay focused on what you're doing. Oftentimes, I hear from parents that contact me is their kids were in all honors classes. They were getting straight A's. They were very involved. Now, all of a sudden, the parents are divorced, and you've gone completely the other way. You need to maintain those grades. You need to maintain those study habits. And if you find people in your life that you trust and respect and you can talk to about this, they're going to help you through this. No excuses, man. You need to maintain your focus and maintain your purpose and accept what's going on. I know life is hard. It is hard. Don't be afraid to ask for support. You're young. You're going through a lot of pain. You're going through a lot of change. You don't know how to cope. You don't know how to deal with this. You're frustrated. You're angry. You're sad. I don't know why. You got questions. You may never know the answer. Seek out your school counselor. Maybe you need to go to therapy to learn how to deal with this. Don't be afraid to let people support you through these tough times. Sometimes you have to look at the bright side. Maybe parents going through a divorce can bring out the positive. I don't know. Maybe they were so miserable living together. Now that they're divorced and living their own, they might be happier. They might feel like they've got freedom. And that's not a bad thing. Young people, you want to see your mom and dad happy. So although this divorce is tough and it's hard, I got a couple points that I want to make. I don't accept excuses. There's no reason that your life needs to fully change. It will change. There's no doubt about that. But if you were in honors classes, you should still be in honors classes. If you were getting straight A's, you should still get straight A's. I'm okay with a little setback as you're dealing with this because that's life. If you're an athlete, you need to stay being an athlete. Speak to your parents and ask them as they go through the divorce if they can kindly be civil to each other, not talk bad about each other, because it's still your mom and it's still your dad. Divorce happens to 50% of marriages in America. That means half of our kids are experiencing what divorce is. Parents, I ask you to be responsible and to be mature during these difficult times. And remember, as hard as it is for you, it's probably doubly hard for the children